Hi guys, welcome back to the 6 daily habits that are going to change your life. Week 5 already, we're flying through these. Up till now we've talked about eating, sleeping, breathing, going for walks, all physical things. Today we're going to shift gears and focus more on the mind. Habit number 5 is to develop a mindfulness or meditation practice, something you can do every day to kind of center yourself and regroup and kind of, I don't want to say control your thoughts, but not be controlled by your thoughts. So I want to leave this open. There's a lot of different ways to go about it. Meditation can literally be anything. There's so many different names. You can consider it prayer. It could be a gratitude practice, mindfulness, just paying attention to what's around you. Like I say, gratitude, just focusing on things that you're happy about, focusing on things that you want. There's some strict meditation disciplines. You can use sound. There's so many options. So I'm not going to tell you what to do or how to do it, but I just want to encourage you to experiment with different ideas. Try different techniques. Find the things that work, and kind of connect the dots. See how things make you feel. Lean into the things that work and spend more time on those. And the things that work are what works. You don't need to overcomplicate it. You don't need to focus on what somebody told you you're supposed to do. Find the things that work for you. Find how you perform best and can express yourself at your highest potential, and that's what's going to be the best practices for you. We live in a crazy world. There's so much going on right now, and it's great. We have access to all this information. It's a great time to be alive. But at the same time, we have access to all this information. We're constantly bombarded with messages and emails and headlines and streaming songs and TV shows. And there is a never-ending, unlimited supply of distractions and messages. So you really have to, just sort of stop and pay attention to, what these messages are. Where are your thoughts coming from? What kind of ideas do you have? And when do you actually have time to sort things out and to slow down and to shut all that noise off? And that's what I'm going to say meditation, because I think it's just a good broad sweeping term, but that's what meditation is. Meditation is blocking all that stuff out, shutting it down, and resetting so that you can come back and focus on something helpful and something beneficial, and not just constantly being distracted. So I think it is important to kind of look at your life and sort of audit your thoughts in a way, audit the messages, and audit your actions. So I personally like to meditate first thing in the morning. I think it's such a great way to start the day. It's made a huge difference for me. I started doing it 5 minutes a day, and I expanded to 10. Now I do 15. And just having that moment in the morning when I can, like I said, reset is so helpful, that when it's time to go to work, I'm not worried about yesterday. I'm not worried about all the stuff I have to do. I'm kind of centered and focused on the task at hand. So ask yourself, are you waking up stressed? Are you waking up and the first thing you do is grab your phone or your computer and start checking messages and emails? Is all of a sudden, the second you get out of bed, is your mind already being taken over by other people's thoughts and ideas and requests and demands? Because if it is, it's really, really hard to get anything going positive. Specifically, if you have personal goals and personal things that you want to accomplish, when do you have time to think about it if the second you get out of bed, you're already being wound up and spun into different directions and other people's thoughts and other people's needs? You need to have a little bit of time to focus on your own needs. Your thoughts are so important. Thoughts precede actions and behaviors. Anything that's ever happened was a thought first. And we have tens of thousands of thoughts a day. But the scary thing is 95 to 97% of those thoughts are the same thoughts that you had yesterday and the same thoughts that you had the day before. And we're on autopilot. And that's really what we want to avoid, is getting into this autopilot state where you're just doing the things that you do and thinking the things that you think, and just going mindlessly into answering emails, and now it's work, and you never really have a chance to actually be yourself. Because how can you change if you stay the same? How can you actually make positive changes in your life if your thoughts are the same? Because like I said, thoughts become things. Thoughts precede actions, thoughts precede behavior, but your thoughts become your behavior. They become your personality. They become what you are, what you do. They become the things that you have around you. Your life up till this point is a manifestation of all the thoughts that you've had up till now. So, yeah, it's cool. Like if you want something, if you want to lose 20 pounds, we'll say, for a good example, that's great if you want that. But if you think about that a couple times a day, but the rest of your day you're having the exact same thoughts that you had yesterday, which are fueling the behavior that you had yesterday and the behavior you had the day before, that got you to the point you're at now, you're not going to be able to truly make that positive change, because you're going to fall right back into the same lifestyle that got you what you got. Everything you have is, the product of your lifestyle, which is the product of your behaviors and actions, which is the product of your thoughts. So you are the product of your thoughts. So if you want to lose 20 pounds, that's not good enough. That's the reason that diets fail. If people go on some crazy diet and they want to lose 20 pounds in 3 months, and it works, so they go on this crazy diet, they're drinking celery juice, and they get to smell an orange every day, whatever it is, and you're starving and you're miserable, but you're not becoming that person. So I'll back that up. What you need to do, if you have a goal, so if you're 200 pounds right now and you want to get to 180 and you want to maintain that and be a healthy 180 pound person, then you need to become that 180 pound person, and you need to do it while you're 200 pounds, so that by the time you get to 180 pounds, you are the person who can maintain that. Because if you stay the same person you are, that 200 pound person who's 20 pounds overweight, and you go on a diet, even if you lose the weight, you're just a 200 pound person who's hungry and miserable and can't wait to get off your diet. And then you get off the diet and you go right back into your old behaviors, and you're going to gain all that weight back. You're probably going to gain more weight back, because on top of the behaviors you've acquired throughout your life, you've also just added metabolic damage by starving yourself for 3 months. So you're probably going to lose that 20 pounds and then almost immediately start gaining it back and gain back 30 or gain back 40, because you're in worse shape than you were when you started, but you're keeping the same lifestyle. So what I mean, you need to become that 180 pound person. You need to change your thoughts into the thoughts that they would have. You need to change your actions into the actions that person would have. And you need to create a new lifestyle. And that's what this whole thing is. These are 6 habits. And if you can add these habits to your life every day, they're going to become a lifestyle. And that lifestyle is going to support the new life that you want and the goals, so that you can actually maintain that and you just become a new person. And a huge part of this is, a meditation process, because like I said, you have these thousands and thousands of thoughts. You need to be able to slow them down, control them, realize that you are not your thoughts, but you're the one observing the thoughts. When I started really getting into meditation, I started using the Mindspace app, and in one of the early lessons in that, you learn to think of your thoughts as clouds in the sky, and just watching the clouds go by. And they also use the analogy of like sitting by the side of the road and watching cars go by. But it's the same thing. The thoughts come and then the thoughts go. And the thoughts come and the thoughts go. You don't need to get hung up on every single thought that happens. So it's okay to have thoughts, but when the thoughts come, you don't have to cling to it. It doesn't have to spiral into something. You just let that thought go, and then focus on the thoughts that you want. Meditation really is just simply focus. It's the thing that you're focusing on. And I was talking before about there's so much distractions in the world, and so many, headlines and things to grab your attention, things to allow you to, hide from your thoughts and distract yourself from your thoughts. But those are taking your focus. So if you're putting your focus on something other than what you want, on something other than the life you want to live, at the very least, you're wasting energy and you're holding yourself back. That's, the self-fulfilling prophecy is a little bit of an extreme of this, but it's the same idea. It's like, if you don't think it's going to work, it's not. If you really want to lose 20 pounds, but you keep thinking about how hard it is for you, how it's not going to work for you. You're not like your friend who lost 20 pounds. You're different. You've always been overweight. Then your body's going to fill in those gaps. Your body's going to actually make your mind right. So focus the other way. Slow things down. Take that moment where you can meditate in the morning or at night. You can do it before you go to bed. You can do it at any point during the day. Take that time to focus and practice on slowing your thoughts down, controlling your thoughts. Or not control. I don't want to say controlling. Not being controlled by your thoughts is a better way to put it, because it's not about control. It's about letting them go, and then focusing on the things that are important and making the changes. Because when you change your mindset, you change your behaviors, which changes your lifestyle. And that's the main thing that I want to get across with these, is with all these lessons, especially this one. It's like, if you can change your lifestyle, if you can not spiral into old habits, you can create new habits. But you need to create space for those new habits by eliminating the old habits and not being hung up on the old habits and not being convinced that you are the old habits, because you're not your habits, you're not your thoughts. You're different. You can always change. Once you decide that you want to make the changes that you're going to make, then all of a sudden you're not the person who got you to this point. You're the person who's going to change it. So like I said, if you want a new life, you have to become the person who can accomplish that. If you want to lose weight, if you want to gain muscle, if you want to get stronger, you want to squat 500 pounds, you need to become the person who's capable of squatting 500 pounds. And that's a process. But the process is the good part. The process is what's going to help you make these goals last, and it's going to change everything for the better. So I touched on a little bit. I like to do it every morning. I like to get up, sit down, just find somewhere nice and quiet, and slow down my breathing, slow down my thoughts, let thoughts pass, put myself in a place where I'm not hung up on things, I'm not stressed about things, I'm not anxious, and that I can just kind of regroup, restart, and start the day from right there and focus on exactly what's important. And that's when you can make goals, figure out what you want to accomplish for the day, and accomplish it. I think this is going to make a huge difference if you've never really tried meditation before or never been successful with it before. Feel free to ask questions in the comments or find us on Instagram and we can answer questions about it. I know that this isn't the typical fitness advice you're going to get in a lot of places, and a big reason for that is all over the place, and not everybody, there's a lot of great people in the fitness industry, but the majority of what you hear is people convincing you that you're not good enough, that you're too fat, that you're too slow, that you're too thin, that you're too weak, whatever it is, that no one's going to marry you, nobody loves you. And then, making you feel like you need something, and then selling you some bullshit pill or some nonsense, some crazy diet or crazy workout plan, where the things that are really going to make a difference are focusing on the things that you don't have to buy. It's not about products. It's not the next fancy product is going to change your life. It's, checking the boxes of the things that are free, the things we do every day. That's why we've talked before about breathing and, not poisoning yourself with shitty food, walking, moving your body. This is, getting your mind right and focusing your thoughts. And, it's like, don't take these things for granted. Before you go trying to spend money on something, make sure you're checking off all the free boxes. And it really is going to make a huge difference. It's made a huge difference for me, and I want to share this because it's important, because it really, really helps. And because, like I said, you have so many thoughts all day. Don't let yourself just be on autopilot, because if you go into autopilot, all you're going to get is what you've already got to this point. It's like Albert Einstein said, you can't solve a problem with the same consciousness that created it. And I think that's 2 weeks in a row that I quoted Albert Einstein, which is, I don't know if that's interesting or not. But it's true. That quote is so true. You need to kind of step out of the life that you've built to this point. Because like I said, your life is your thoughts. Your thoughts precede action. Your thoughts precede behaviors. So if we can get a better grasp on our thoughts and focus our thoughts on things that are really going to make a difference and really going to improve our lives, then we're going to improve our lives. And the behavior that comes from it is going to be a lifestyle that supports your goals. And that's what we want. So thank you so much for watching this. I hope it's important. Really, I mentioned before, auditing your life, and start just paying attention to your thoughts. Pay attention to what your default setting is. Pay attention to if you wake up stressed. Pay attention if you're addicted to looking at your phone every time it's quiet because you want to distract yourself from your thoughts. Because you're not your thoughts, just let them pass and figure out a way to focus on your goals. Because I know that you can become the person that can accomplish those and maintain those. And I want to support you in this. So, like I said, if you have any questions, you have any concerns, let us know. We're easy to find. Momentum, Strength, and Wellness. We're on Instagram. We're on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, you can watch the rest of our videos here. You can throw comments and questions. Email us. We'll be happy to help with anything you need. Thanks a lot. Check back next week for our 6th and final habit.